Everybody, welcome to the podcast. Today, I have an interview for you with my new friend, Ryan Reger. And Ryan is a husband, a father, an author, a speaker, and business owner with 16 different streams of income. Ryan is the author of several books, and his latest is called Streams of Income. It's about living the multiple income stream dream and helping people to build an online business so that it can have more streams of income. I'm tripping over my intro there because I obviously didn't write it grammatically correctly, but Ryan, welcome to the podcast.
Awesome, Andy. You're very welcome. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you on. We were introduced by a mutual friend and threw this together pretty quickly. And I was just reading up on your background and some of your stuff, and 16 different streams of income. That's a lot. Most people have one,
right?
Maybe two if they have been lucky and skilled enough to start a little side hustle on the side of their job or main business, whatever it is. How did all this come about?
Oh my gosh. So it started with one stream of income. Actually started with 0 streams of income. Back in 2008, I was in Indiana. I was working on a political campaign. We lost that campaign. So I knew the only thing that was going to happen, the only thing I was certain about was I was moving to Texas. Well, 2 things. So moving to Texas and getting married. I had no idea how I was going to provide for my wife and I. They had started a furniture business a year or so before that. And so I had been following Jim Cockrum, who we talked about before the show. He has a book called Silent Sales Machine. We've been following him since about 2003 or 2004. Always knew that I wanted to have my own business. So I thought this is my opportunity to do this. And so I went into the furniture business and helped with by God's grace, that exploded. But it was they were just in Dallas-Fort Worth, just on Craigslist. And so I started posting ads all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Furniture business did really well. To make a long story short, we ended up going off into Amazon, found so it was e-commerce essentially. And then I can dig down as deep as you want, but it went from selling physical products then to teaching other people how to do it. And some of those 16 streams are things like my own Amazon products, some of the courses, the books. I have print-on-demand t-shirts on Amazon's platform for t-shirts called merch.com. So some are big and some are little, but yeah, there's about 16 and some dry up and I get new ones. So, but it started back with furniture on Craigslist.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of having multiple streams of income, right? That some will dry up at some point and then you keep replacing them and you have more options and it kind of creates more diversity, more insurance. I want to go back and make sure people know who you're talking about. You said Jim Cockrum wrote the book Silent Sales Machine. I don't know that much about him. I know he's a very big presence in the Amazon world and teaching people how to sell on Amazon, right?
Yeah, he is. So he started selling on eBay, wrote a book about eBay. Amazon came around and kind of took over. And so he moved over and started selling on Amazon and grew his audience around that. And he just is a really awesome guy that talks about how to use the internet creatively to make money online. And in his book, he talks about the 3 main ways to start an online business. And my book, Streams of Income, kind of piggybacks on that and shows my experience with those 3 different streams of income. And Andy, you're doing 2 of those right now in your business. And there's so many ways to make money online, guys. It's just that right now the struggle is not to find good ideas, because there's good ideas everywhere. It's the right ideas for you. What's going to be the ones that are going to really kick off your business and make it do well for you.
Let's talk about that, because I have looked at different online businesses over the years. I have been, in several desperate Google searches of like, how am I going to get out of my job and make some money, like many, many people have. And that's how so many people probably end up in MLMs and all kinds of other, different things that I'm not a big fan of. But, I think I always have this, maybe it's like a limiting belief. Or like, if I've discovered this, then if this really is profitable, then everybody would be doing this. So why are these things available? And something as simple as, hey, you started selling furniture on Craigslist and then Amazon or eBay, wherever you were. How did you start selling so much furniture on Craigslist?
So there was a need for it. We were able to, I always ask, typically folks will ask me all the time what they should do to start a business. What kind of business should they start? And I'll start just getting to know them. What's their, where are they from? What do they like to do? What's their passions? What are they talented at? question I like to ask is what is your lowest hanging fruit?
Hmm.
So what is right there available for you that you might not even know about? Dan Miller has a book. It's called Acres of Diamonds. It's about essentially gold that's in, or diamonds that are in your own backyard that you don't even know exist. So when I moved to Texas, I didn't know what to do, honestly. I did honestly start looking for jobs, but my heart was that I wanted us to have my own business. And my wife said, well, you really need to keep looking for a job, because, she wasn't sure the furniture business was going to work. But pretty soon she saw the numbers and was like, yeah, let's go for this head on. But it's because that was right in front of me. They had already started the business. They already had some wholesale accounts. So I just went in there, instead of them posting a couple a day, because they had jobs at the time, so they were doing it very part-time. We just started posting, hundreds, sometimes a day, of ads of different types of furniture from this source that we had. And so I didn't know which ones we're going to sell. We just go through the catalog that they had, create pictures, put a price on there. And the ones that started selling, we kept posting those. So that was the lowest hanging fruit at the time. And then that business dried up back in about 2012, started to decline rapidly when we noticed all of our ads were starting to get flagged in some areas of the country. And our business was like, wow, what are we going to do? But that's when Amazon came around, and we found out about fulfillment by Amazon. And that allowed us to send in, use Amazon for some of these smaller items that we had access to as well. We had access to other wholesale accounts besides furniture. So we started focusing on some of the smaller items that Amazon could fulfill for us. So for your audiences, I would say, what are you interested in? What do you have a passion about? What do you know about? There are people that will pay you for that knowledge. But a lot of folks, the easiest place to get started making extra money is selling physical products. So of the three main ways to make money online, there's selling physical products. There's expanding your audience. Like, you have an audience of people that follow you, so you're in that E model. And then you also are a coach and a consultant. So you have the E and the C. The selling physical products usually is the easiest place for folks to start if they don't really know what they're knowledgeable about, or really don't feel like people would pay them for what they have. I guarantee everybody has something that is valuable that somebody would pay money for. But the selling physical product part is something that anybody could do. You could go to your garage sale, a local garage sales on the weekend, and start flipping it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace to earn extra money. So that's why we talk about so much about selling physical products online, is because there's just, the barrier to entry is so low. And that's how we got started. And now, we do, coaching and consulting, and have the, courses and books. And it's because I'm passionate about seeing other people live the life, Andy, that we get to live, like being home with our family. Yeah. That is gold to me. And it's, I just can't imagine going back to a regular job now, because of the freedom that we have.
Like you said before we started recording, you are unemployable. I guess we both are, because I don't really want to ever go back to another job or work for anybody else either. I enjoy working on my own and building these things. But I still feel like, even though I've been building an online business per se, building a brand and a persona, sometimes I still feel like, well, can I really sell something? Will people really pay for the knowledge I have? Before I get into that, I want to make sure we're clear on, you mentioned there's three main ways to make money online. One is selling physical products. Another one, I assume, is selling knowledge through coaching or consulting.
Yeah, it can be, so the E piece is like, so it's a S and then E and then C. So the E is like expanding your audience, taking something you're passionate about and growing an audience around that niche. Whether it's, you live in Florida, for example, and you're right by Disney World. There are people online that have blogs all about how to do Disney, and they're making money from advertisement. And I don't know, there might even be I don't know if there's courses around that topic, but I'm sure there are people that are making money besides just the advertisement to their blog. So something as simple as that, like you're a Disney expert, for example, you know exactly how to navigate it. You know where to get the best deals. You know where all that around that topic, people will pay you for. If you love horses and you've just been around horses all your life and you know everything there is to know about horses, people will pay you for that knowledge in the form of maybe it's a Facebook group, maybe it's a course on how to raise thoroughbreds, maybe it's a membership site where you're giving out knowledge every month. There's so many examples. So that's the E piece. your podcast would be a perfect example of that e-piece.
Hmm.
And maybe you have a course about, leadership that comes out, and you get out to your audience because you already have these
Maybe I
people
should.
yeah, you absolutely. You already have these people that are listening to you. And I imagine I don't know if you're, getting advertisement for your podcast or not, but the folks in your audience would gladly, at some point, you could come out and say, hey, now I've done this podcast for 3 years now, and I want to do a course on leadership, or I'm going to take all this knowledge that I've learned from all these guests and package it into this. And you guys get it for, this price. And, that would be a huge value for somebody. So that's the E piece. And then the C is obviously coaching and consulting, which that's pretty easy to understand. You go into a company and can, like what you do, and help their sales team. Maybe it's a one-on-one type coach, which a lot of our folks, our mutual friends do. They'll take folks through maybe they're a life coach or a business coach or a fitness coach, and just get them going from A to B. So those are the main 3 models. There's other ways to make money online, but those are the main 3 foundational ways.
Okay, excellent. And I imagine you have the book and you have a lot of resources on this. So I want to talk about something that I love talking about on this podcast, which is fear. I think a lot of people might see what you're doing, look at what other people are doing and think, well, yeah, I do have some knowledge. I know about horses, or I see some products that I might be able to sell online, or I might be able to start a podcast. I think I have a topic that's interesting, but what if I fail? What if nobody is interested? People let fear often hold them back.
Sure.
Did you deal with that at all? And how do you help people, or what do you talk to people about when they say they're too afraid to do it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All the time. But the cool thing about the internet is that you want to fail often. Actually, you want to try a lot of different stuff. But with the internet, you can fail it with very, very, very low risk. So for example, like with selling physical products in our communities where we're teaching people how to sell on Amazon, at no point do we ever say, okay, you're just starting brand new. We should help you source a whole container of a product from China. It's going to be about a $20,000 investment. And when it gets there back here to the United States, let's really hope it sells, because you don't want to be stuck with that amount of inventory in your garage. So we're teaching people how to start very, very low, like with buying a couple units and trying them out. I mean, a $10 investment. So there's really no excuse as far as the selling physical product side, because the barrier to entry is so low, and you can actually get started with $0. So let's say that you and I lived right next to each other, and I wanted to sell physical products. You had no interest in it, but let's say we knew each other and I had been in your house, and I know that you have a room full of stuff that I just don't think you're ever going to do anything with. I could come to you and say, hey, Andy, I'll sell that online for you, and we'll just split the profit. So a consignment deal. Didn't cost me anything. I get free inventory, and then when it sells, we split 50-50. So a lot of people get started that way. There's absolutely no risk in that. If it doesn't sell, it just doesn't sell. Other than my time involved in actually listing it, there's no monetary involvement there for me to get that inventory. On the other side, it's just, if you think you have a topic that people are interested in, where is your potential audience hanging out online? Go serve that audience well. So let's say horses was my topic. I'd go to some other blogs. I'd go to Facebook groups that are around that topic, and just start providing value in there, serving that community. Start talking about what you know. If you're getting PMs from people saying, oh my gosh, this is awesome, I want to know more, or the admins start to notice that you're providing value, and they start to call you out on stuff and say, thanks for helping out, and you're just getting a lot of buzz around this topic, you found something that can work. And so that's an easy low risk way to get to kind of test the waters. So within this internet age, to wrap it up, there's not much of a risk at all. You can get started, just kind of try it out on a very small scale, no matter your business model. Coaching, just start telling your friends, hey, I'm a fitness coach now, and you see how I've lost 25 pounds over the last 5 weeks, and how I've gotten really buff. I want to teach people how to do that. I guarantee you'll have people that want to go through that training. That's not going to cost you anything to try.
They've seen what you've done,
right?
And maybe they want to learn how to do what you did. People always ask for advice from their friends. They see what their friends have done, and it makes sense, to charge for that. Now, and what you said, I like what you said. The risk is low, so people often have a fear of rejection, a fear of failure.
Sure.
And you're essentially quantifying that and saying like, look, you're spending $100 to get started or whatever it is, you know, you can put up your own website and start marketing something to friends. You're
Mm-hmm.
not starting big. You're not creating a
Sure.
course right away,
Right.
doing a little bit of coaching out of it. So
Sure.
you're encouraging people to start small, build a little bit of experience, get some wins.
Yeah.
And they can also see start doing things for free, like seeing where they are able to help people. You mentioned getting involved in other people's other communities, right? My mentor, Vincent Pugliese, who's a friend of yours as well, I know, he always talks about OPP, other people's platforms.
Yes.
You know, you can go into groups that are already well established and start adding value,
Right.
and see what kind of questions people have and start adding value and build a brand that way. Don't be salesy, right? Don't ever go into other people's platforms to sell stuff, but you can start adding value and build a brand that way.
Totally. And look, go in those communities and see where there are holes. And so go into, this horse, you're a horse lover, for example, let's say, and you go into a horse Facebook group and you see that there's a lot of people asking questions about a certain topic, and there's not a piece of content from that group that answers that. So approach the admins and say, hey, I love this group. I've been a part of it for a few months, and just thank you for having this community. I've seen a lot of people are interested in this topic and you don't have anything to address that. How about I create a course alongside you and we split the profits? Or I do all the work and I'll split the profits with you because it's your community that you build up. So many ways. I've done a lot through joint venture partners and just going into communities and seeing where there's a hole for a need, where that person's audience needs help. And if I can provide that, let's do it. Let's come together and let's serve that audience well together.
I'm glad you mentioned that, the joint venture partnerships. Not something that I've had a lot of conversations about on here.
Okay.
But you twice mentioned this idea of splitting profits. And I have seen, especially as I get into these communities, entrepreneurship, personal development, the most successful people tend to have a very abundant mindset. And I come across people with what I'd say is a more of a scarcity mindset that, they're afraid to share profits, or people are going to take things away from them. And so they're not willing to do a share deal. People often get greedy and say, well, this is my idea, I'm going to take all the profits. And yet you're possibly leveraging someone else's platform, or someone is bringing an opportunity to you. And so it sounds like one of the things you've done is look for these opportunities where you can take your strengths or your resources and marry those to somebody else's, if they have a platform or an audience or a resource or expertise, whatever it is, and say, hey, let's go into this together and split it and make money that way.
Yeah, it has to be a triple way win, so a three-way win. So we talk about and I've been on both sides of it, as going to somebody who has the audience, and then with me having the audience and partner with somebody who has the content. So the gatekeeper is the person that has the audience. So they have to obviously win. It has to be a win for them. So usually that's financially how that works. It has to be a win for the audience, and needs to be good content for that person's audience. And obviously it has to be a win for me, the content creator. So usually it's 50-50, but it can be different ways. But I have a decent sized group of folks in a Amazon group that we teach them how to sell on Amazon. And just tonight we're starting a class about finding replenishable products that sell over and over again. I am not the expert of that on that topic specifically. And so even though I do have products that do that, I'm just not something that I haven't scaled a business that way, in this way that we're going to talk about. So I found a guy in my community that knows it. I said, let's partner together. You bring the content, I have the audience. This is going to be a tremendous win for them, because it's great content, because I know what you're doing in your own business, and we'll split it. And that's exactly what we've done. And it just has to be a win for everybody around. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're looking for, and you're even willing to give up a little bit to make sure it's a win for everybody, then, more likely to happen. So you've mentioned Amazon a couple of times, and I know this is an area where a lot of people are jumping in and trying some things. I would think, the idea that might hold me back is, hey, it's 2019. Amazon's been around for a long time. Anybody who could sell anything is already selling it, and there's probably not much opportunity for me. Is there still a lot of opportunity to make money on Amazon? And
so I saw the numbers. Jim Cochran posted in the group that he runs. I think it's like 10% of 10% of overall sales happen online. I don't know where he got. I'd like to find that I'll find that, and you want me to, I'll get it to you. But it's
Yeah.
essentially 90% of sales happen still with brick and mortar and outside of online. Amazon has a big part of that 10%, but there's still so many people who aren't shopping online yet. So the opportunity is totally there. It's only going to get bigger from here.
Of that, so you're saying more and more things, even though some of us buy everything on Amazon and we think,
like me. Mm-hmm.
right, and me as well, and so we think, oh, everybody's already on there, but the truth is not everybody is on Amazon yet. Not everybody's not buying online yet. So the online e-commerce is still growing. And
Absolutely.
you're saying that there are plenty of opportunities there. How do people jump in if they want to start? What's the best way to start if you want to get into an Amazon?
Yeah, sure. I mean, literally, guys, you can, if you have a buying account, opening up a selling account is almost just as easy. You can open up an account just by going to like Google sell on Amazon, and it'll walk you through the process of starting an account. You can start with an individual plan that doesn't cost you anything to try it out. So just start going around items around your home, and what can you put on their platform? You can ship it from your home and have it sent to the customer, or you can use their fulfillment by Amazon feature where you can ship everything to their warehouse. They'll store it for you, and then when it sells, they'll send it to your customer for you and just pay you. So it's super easy. Just Google sell on Amazon and you can get started. And there are tons of free information online on how to do it. We have courses in our community. I'm happy to give you those links if you want me to for your audience. But I mean, guys, you can literally do it even for free. Just Google how to sell on Amazon. There's so much information out there, but it's as simple as buying low and selling high. And you can find places, inventory, garage sales, thrift stores, retail stores, Walmart, Target, wholesale companies, all the above.
And when you talk about retail stores, Target, things like that, I'm always surprised that you could take something from there and sell it, but that happens, right? Because sometimes it's being sold cheaper at the store than people buy it for online.
Yeah, but so it's you can find it for cheaper than Amazon. Now, some things are exact same price, and some things might even be cheaper on Amazon than at the store. But there are millions and millions of products that you can find at a local store that you can make money by putting them on Amazon. And it's just, just think about the number of folks who will pay for the convenience of not having to, like you and I would rather have it come to my door than to go hunt all over town looking for that item. In 2 seconds, I can order on Amazon and have it to my door. And so there's a lot of folks like us who are cool with that and are fine with paying $5 more, even $10 more on something.
Yeah.
To have that convenience of not having to leave the house, because time is money.
Yep.
And my time is more valuable sitting here at home doing work than it is just, going all over the Metroplex in Dallas-Fort Worth area or in Orlando trying to find that item.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't really thought about it that way. I always think, if it's available here at this price, then, no one's going to pay more online. But just this morning, my refrigerator needed a new water filter. And I pulled up Amazon and I bought the first one that fit for $44. And I thought that seems kind of expensive, but there's no way I'm going to, and I thought I could go to Bed Bath & Beyond or Target, but I'm not going to do that. I'm running a business. I got my kids, I want to get to the gym today. That's not on my schedule. Like, it's just it's not worth it. I'd rather just order it and be done with it.
Yep. I feel the same way. And a lot of people do too. They just, maybe they can't leave their house for whatever reason, or they don't have a car, and they live in middle of New York City, and it's kind of hard to travel and find what they need. They don't have a Home Depot right next door like you and I probably do. So there's opportunity everywhere.
Okay, so speaking of opportunities, you have a book on these multiple streams of income. We've covered what the three are. We've talked a little bit more about Amazon. Any other big opportunities out there that you talk about in the book that you want to make sure that we mention?
Those are the three main ones. We could talk, there's so many ways to make money online, guys, but it comes down to those main three are the ones that work all the time. And if you just put some work into it, it'll work for you. There's always things that come along. Oh, let's try this new shiny object. But the three ones, the main ones we talk about are the selling physical products, having an audience that'll pay you for your information, and then the coaching and consulting.
And do you mostly work with people on physical products? Do you work with people to help them get started with selling through coaching and consulting? And
Yeah.
if so, I'd love to hear an example of someone you worked with who has built a business.
Yeah. So one of the things, and you're a leadership guy. One of the things I love is finding people in my audience and who have something, a piece of knowledge that I know that would sell essentially to my audience. I'm always out looking for talent, essentially. Like the perfect example is this course tonight that we're starting off with. I saw in him the knowledge that like he was killing it in his business, and I said his name's Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, people will love this content. We need to create a course together. He agreed, thankfully. So we're partnering, and my audience is loving it, and we're selling. We got about 500 and some people in the course tonight that's starting. I love finding opportunities like that and bringing up Jimmy's in my audience and saying, hey, you're selling on Amazon, you're killing it there. Let's do this e-piece where I see knowledge that you have that my audience will want, and they'll pay you for it. And I'll just take a commission from that. So so I have Jimmy's an example. There's a guy named there's another dude from St. Petersburg, Florida, Stephen Hibbert, the buddy of mine who's been in my audience for a while, now teaches people how to do print on demand with Amazon's merch platform. And so he has a whole audience built on that and does coaching and consulting with that. So there's a few there, but yes, I love helping people, not just on Amazon, but I want them to think bigger than selling physical product. That's why I talk about those three main ways. But I love finding folks that have something that I know the world needs and saying, let's get you out there and let's, get that information out there to the world, because they need it and they'll pay you for it.
Interesting. And I'm curious about the merch on demand. What's the interest there? The idea that you've got designs that you think would make a great t-shirt or other type of merchandise, and you can print them on demand and people can order them?
Totally. Yeah. So the cool thing about merch is that it doesn't cost anything. You can get an account for free. And if you think you have a cool design or a cool quote, create a shirt. If you're a designer, you can do that, or have somebody do the design for you. Upload that design, and it's on Amazon.com for people to buy. You can sell actually all over the world as well with it. And it doesn't cost you anything to do that other than your time to upload it. And maybe if you have to pay a designer. And then when a sale happens, Amazon will print that one shirt, send it to your customer and pay you a royalty. And so there's people in our audience that have thousands of designs. Now they don't always know which ones are going to sell, so they'll try a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But the power for somebody like you, Andy, is that you have an audience already. So if you had a t-shirt, maybe there's a quote you say a lot, or
I've got one, and I've got one shirt, and everyone always asks me,
cool,
my Starve Your Fear shirt. Everyone always asks me about getting one, and
there you go. Well, you can put that on merch, and then you just send your audience there, and when they buy that, you can set the price. Whatever you want it to be. If you want to make it a little bit of money, or you want to make it not so much for your audience, it's totally up to you. And then Amazon will pay you a royalty on every one that's sold.
What kind of margins are people making on that? I would think the margins would be pretty low.
So the break even, Amazon increases the prices all the time. I think the break even price, it's expensive. It's more than going to your local t-shirt printer, but it's like $14 per shirt is break even. And so that's for them to print one shirt and to ship it to your customer for you. So most shirts are around $19.99, $24.99. Yep. So $19.99 shirt's going to bring you about $5, $5 or $6.
Okay, so 25. You can sell your shirt for $25. You're making.
Yeah, you can actually, I think, go up to $50 if you want. There's people that will do as donation, like a charity. Like, hey, I know this shirt's $50, but all the proceeds are going to this charity over here. Okay. There are people that get that off of it. But yeah, usually $19.99 is a sweet spot.
Ryan, this has been interesting. You're getting the wheels turning in my head. I'm trying not to get distracted.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. We'll go whatever direction you want to go.
Yeah, no, this is great. For anybody listening who wants to maybe get involved and connect with you, find out more, get the book, where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, ryanreger.com is my main website. There's a link to grab the book for free. It's also streamsofincome.com. You just pay shipping and ship it right to your door. And there's also an option to get the ebook. So.
Awesome. Ryan, this has been great. Definitely interesting to think about all the opportunities there are to sell online out there. And if you are listening to this and thinking, I need to get started, go grab a copy of Ryan's book. It's free, and see what you can do. The world is your oyster. Ryan, thanks so much for coming on the Andy Store Show. This has been awesome. and we'll have to stay in touch.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, take care.